Good afternoon. It is Saturday and it's 4 o'clock. It must be time for the senior moment. This is Connie Clark with Home Helpers, and I wrangled someone from the vet center today since we were at the stand down. I have Joe Dumlao with me with the Spokane Vet Center, and welcome.
Thank you, Connie. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we had a great stand down this morning, and hopefully we were able to help a lot of veterans. There was a lot of services that were provided to them. A lot of groups were there. There was a job fair. There was a lot of veterans groups there to talk about the different benefits that they're entitled to. There was medical services. We had all kinds of food and clothing and medical surplus. So it was a really, really great event today. But like I said, I wrangled Joe here to talk to me this afternoon. And what we wanted to do is talk about the Spokane Vet Center. But you're new to the Vet Center, Joe.
That's correct.
Is that correct? So let's tell me a little bit about yourself so the folks out there know your qualifications coming in to talk to people at the Vet Center.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joe Dumlao. I'm a United States Air Force airman. I'm retired from the United States Air Force. I retired in 2009. I'm also a combat veteran from the invasion of Iraq, and I've also spent plenty of time in the Middle East. I've spent nearly 5 years of my life total in total deployments in the Middle East. And after I retired from the Air Force in 2009, I started working for Uncle Sam again at the Spokane Military Entrance Processing Station at the MEPS. So I was helping young men and women join the military. And then a great opportunity happened where I was able to apply and get the job as the Global War and Terrorism Readjustment Counseling Technician and Outreach Specialist at the Spokane Veterans Center out there in Spokane Valley. And since I've been out there, it's been a great ride. I've had to use all the skills I've ever had as a leader and as a supervisor of men and women of the United States military. I'm just now applying it to men and women of all services, veterans of the United States of America. It is my pleasure and my honor to hold this position and to help America's veterans in whatever issues that they might have.
Now, I know the Vet Center has just moved. I remember where your location was before. Where are you all located now? You're near the mall or something over there?
Yes, we are. We moved from Mullen, and we are now at 13109 East Marabou Parkway in Spokane Valley, Washington. And it's near the Spokane Valley Mall. And the easiest way to describe how to get there is from any direction. If you're coming off I-90, take the Pines exit, go north, go over the freeway. Just keep going forward. You're going to pass 2 stoplights, and then it's about another mile or so up north. You're going to hang right on Marabou Parkway, drive another mile and a half to 2 miles down Marabou Parkway, and as you enter Marabou Point Park, we're out there and to the left. You'll see a stone sign that says Spokane Vet Center, and see the U.S. flag and the MIA POW flag flying proudly in front of our building.
Is that a larger location than where you all were before, do you know?
Yes, it is. In the previous location, we were renting out a office space off Mullen, and
it seemed kind of cramped
in
there.
Very cramped. I mean, we had the counselors and technicians and interns practically sitting on top of each other trying to see veterans. And now in our new building, it's specifically designed for the counseling services that we offer at the Spokane Vet Center. Yep.
Now, it can just anyone use the Vet Center? I mean, I know anyone from Idaho or Washington, either way, can go to the Vet Center. But can anybody that's been in the military utilize those services?
Well, we offer several different things at the Spokane Vet Center. And just to clarify things, there are more than 300 vet centers in the United States. So Spokane is just one of the 300. And vet centers are community-based organizations, but what we specialize in is that we target combat theater and combat um, retired or veterans, excuse me.
Anybody
And
who's been in combat.
in combat or in a support role in the combat theater. So what we often say is those who stay on post or on base, and those who go outside the wire, who actually leave and have a propensity to get into more harm's way than those who constantly stay on base when you're out at an overseas location like Afghanistan, Iraq, and Somalia, and so on and so forth. And those are the ones we target. And we determine eligibility by looking at the veterans' discharge paperwork. For the most recent veterans, they're DD Form 214.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and for the older veterans, it's whatever discharge paperwork that they left
From that
service
time
with. You
period.
bet.
And I have one of your newsletters here, and one of the things I see in here, which is really neat, is the eligibility time frame. Because you had mentioned Iraq and Afghanistan, but
Mhm.
you've got in here Grenada, Lebanon,
You bet.
Somalia. So any combat, not just the major things that some of us think of on the top of our head,
Right.
but some of the other places
Right.
that were dangerous,
You bet.
where our folks were.
We obviously well, for those who don't know, the Vet Center was started at 1979 to help Vietnam veterans get over, help them readjust back into the civilian world after their tours in Vietnam. And for many years, it was just targeted towards Vietnam veterans for their readjustment and mental health counseling. And then in the late 90s, Congress has opened up the vet centers to World War II, Korean War, Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, and the Persian Gulf, and Somalia to those war veterans. And then later on, last decade, they opened it up to the current conflict in Iraq and Afghanistan. And the key is that you had to have been awarded a Expeditionary Medal or a Vietnam Service Medal.
To show that you were part of that conflict.
You bet.
Correct.
You bet.
Okay. So you didn't have to do something, this sounds weird, do something special. Those medals were awarded because you were in that
Correct.
conflict.
Like I said, combat theater veterans or combat veterans.
Okay.
And as long as you didn't have a dishonorable discharge, if you had anything but a dishonorable discharge, you are eligible for services at the Spokane Veteran Center.
And you are associated with the VA, but you're separate, correct?
Correct. Now, we fall under the Veterans Affairs Administration, okay, but we are not part of the hospital here in Spokane. We receive our logistical and IT support from them, but we fall under the RCS, which is the Readjustment Counseling Services, and that's our chain of command, and they answer straight to Secretary Shinseki. So we're out there just specifically for readjustment purposes.
So it is, but it isn't, kind of.
Correct.
And the point I was going to on this is, there are a lot of veterans who do want to go and talk to someone about the things that they've gone through, but they're afraid to go somewhere that is associated with the VA hospital for fear if they say something that record will follow them somewhere. But the information at the vet center, that's kind of sacred stuff, correct?
Yes. Well, any information, whether it's mental health, your medical, and then your personal information, obviously is protected by the VA and by various Privacy Act laws that we have instituted in the United States. But one of the key things that we have at the vet center is that the VA hospital, whether it be Spokane or somewhere else in the country, cannot specifically look into your mental health records. That's if you're being seen at the vet center.
That's the point I wanted to make,
Yep.
that it's got this protective wall around it, so
Mhm.
you could say anything there and it's not going to follow you anywhere.
Correct.
So to speak.
Correct. Unless you choose to.
Right.
Correct.
Right. And so you all provide counseling services, both individual and in groups, correct?
Correct. The counseling services that we provide mainly are for PTSD, depression, bereavement, alcoholism, drug abuse, marriage counseling, and then readjustment counseling. And we do it as an individual, and we also have group therapy as well. And just so you know, not only is the combat theater and combat veteran eligible for services at the vet center, but their immediate family members are as well. As long as the veteran is being seen at that particular vet center, their family member is also eligible to get seen.
As a private patient or part of the group, or either way?
As individual or group, you bet.
So if a veteran is dealing with PTSD issues or whatever, they can go in and be seen by someone, and then their spouse or family can come in for their own counseling.
Yes.
For dealing with that.
Yes, because the things that we deal with at the vet center it's a lot of trauma involved. I mean, maybe not the trauma, like an emergency room scenario, but I mean, we're talking a lot of emotional trauma that our men and women veterans have experienced in their wartime, and studies show and experience show that our family members are the first ones to kind of relive that with the veteran. And living with a war veteran who's experiencing PTSD can be difficult on family members, both.
I'll attest to that.
A spouse and children. So we offer we offer counseling to family members. You bet.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I see you've got. First off, you've got this really great newsletter, and you said this is something you all have started.
Yes.
If someone wants to get this newsletter, how would they get it?
Well, we currently we are working to get this out the widest dissemination as possible, but right now I'm sending it out to various veterans organizations, to various American Legions and Veterans of Foreign Wars, and in other military organizations
Service
out there.
organizations.
Yes, you bet. And Connie, I'll send you a copy.
Oh,
of it
I'll be
here
getting
soon.
it, absolutely. And what I think is really neat is you've got in here listed all the different events that are going on. You've got listed the different support groups, and I didn't know that this many were going on. I mean, and it's not just those in Washington. You've got Idaho support groups listed here too, and you've got it listed what type of group it is, if it's specifically for men, for women, or for combat, if it's grief, if it, this is really neat to know all of these things and when they are. Now, I know that the groups that you have on there, they're kind of, you can't just walk in and go, hey, I want to go to this group. You have to be accepted by the group to come in. Isn't that correct?
Well, you're right in both accounts. Yes, you can say, yes, I want to be part of this group.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the acceptance of the group is another thing you'll have to earn. That's
Right.
something I can't just give you, but obviously you have to earn that from your peers. But anyone is more than welcome to come to these groups that are available at the Vet Center.
And I just want to mention one of them. One of them says Art Therapy Workshop.
Correct.
You've got Vietnam Vets, Readjustment to Civilian Life. You've got a spirituality group. You've got a women's yoga group. I think that's pretty neat. A women warrior group, Coping with Readjustment. The OEF. And those are our recent
Yes.
veterans who've come home, in case you didn't know that. Wise Older Warriors. That's your World War II?
Yes, yes. Our WOW group. They're a great bunch of people. World War II, Korean War veterans. They live up in the convalescent homes in various areas in North Idaho and Spokane, and we send counselors out and myself to go out and talk with them, and they just share their experiences either as a group and individuals with us. And I tell you what, that is living history right there. It's awesome. My honor to meet them.
Fantastic. And you've got some Sandpoint groups here.
You bet.
Corpsman and medic groups. And those folks have some specific issues.
Yes.
Those that have watched the wounded come in, they've got some
they're
nightmares.
Besides combat, they're dealing with their own issues. Being generally, you hear about them being the ones they're on the spot to try to save veterans' lives or military service members' lives. So yes, I mean, every PTSD, every case like that is specific. I mean, no one experiences are the same. But as a group, overall group, corpsmen and medics, they have the added burden of being there to save someone's life, and whether they can or not, that plays
stays
heavy.
with them.
You bet.
And I like the fact that you have a special group for them, because sometimes they have issues that the other folks in a group can't understand because they weren't there.
Right.
So I really think that's neat.
And a lot of our groups are are put together upon request of veterans. So it's not like we're at the vet center thinking we're thinking this is the best for veterans out there. Veterans are coming to us and say, hey, we'd like to have this group, and we're doing our best to accommodate them because we're here for veterans. I mean, that's our whole mission, is to take care of our combat theater and combat veterans.
I think that's fantastic. Well, I need to take a break here, but I want to continue talking about this because there is so much at the Spokane Vet Center that can help the veteran and their family, and we just need to make sure everybody knows about it. So we'll take a break, and we'll be right back.
Great. It's fun.
I love doing this because I get to learn stuff.
Are you working the switchboard or the board as well, the soundboard?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not touching anything because last time I touched things. So I just don't touch anything,
Right.
and then they come back and fix it afterwards. Okay, so I want to. There's a sexual trauma and harassment counseling and bereavement, so we can talk about specifically what those are.
Okay.
And then I want to talk about the folks that are there from the VFW and stuff that can handle claims, and we'll just continue on. How's that?
Okay.
And that, can we talk about some of the upcoming events that you've got?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm flexible.
Okay.
I'll talk about anything.
Okay. All right.
It's better that you're leading because if you give me an open mic, I'll talk forever and then I'll probably wind up singing.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, you ready to come back?
I'm ready.
And we're back. Welcome back to the Senior Moment. Again, this is Connie Clark with Home Helpers, and I have Joe Dumlao with the Spokane Vet Center, and we're talking about all the different services. And when we went to take the break, we were talking about the different kind of support groups that are available there. And one of the ones that I see here is sexual trauma and harassment counseling, and that can be both for men or women. Correct.
Now, earlier I told you what the criteria is to get seen at the Veteran Center, at any Veteran Center, and military sexual trauma is the only exception that we have at the Veteran Center, where it is to get counseling services for bereavement or PTSD or depression that you would have to be a combat theater veteran or combat veteran. For military sexual trauma, if you want to get counseling for that, there is no eligibility requirement.
There's no time frame so far as when you were in the service.
You could be peacetime, you could be wartime, guard, reserve, male, female. You could have a dishonorable discharge, honorable discharge, a bad conduct discharge. It doesn't matter. If you experience military sexual trauma in service, okay, and that is something that you need help on, we will help you in any way possible. We have qualified counselors and two great qualified counselors in sexual trauma, and we've helped quite a bit of folks get over that.
That's good to know, because someone might be sitting out there going, yeah, well, I was in the service in peacetime and this happened to me. This doesn't do me any good. But it doesn't matter for this particular subject.
Correct.
That's fantastic to know. And I see bereavement counseling. Now, could this be for parents of someone who was killed in the service or something like that?
Yes, one of the groups that we have is the military Gold Star groups. And for those who don't know what a Gold Star member is the family of a great American who's paid the ultimate price in defense of our nation. Normally you'll see flags in red, white, and blue, and then a blue star to show that that family has someone serving, or it could be multiple stars to show the amount.
And I've had that one when my son-in-law was serving.
Right, and then if for whatever reason, for sad reason, if that blue star turns into gold, that means that member, that family member, has paid the ultimate sacrifice, and that's the reason why we call it Gold Star member group.
Okay.
And we get the family members, spouse, parents, children, dependents, They come in and they meet with other Gold Star members groups, and we talk about bereavement. We talk about what it's like to have, you know, to lose a spouse, to lose a son or daughter, or a friend, a father, a mother, so on and so forth. So, and that's what our Gold Star member group is all about.
And there's something going on this weekend for that, isn't that correct?
Yes, it is our time of remembrance in Richland, Washington, and that's where we have Gold Star members from all over Central and Eastern Washington get together. We have counselors there from the Vet Center and others support groups, and we just help them remember their loved ones, pay respect and honor to the sacrifices that they made, and then help those family members cope.
How often do you have something like that?
That is an annual event that we have.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I know my granddaughter's over there being part of the support for that.
Right.
But that's nice to know, because sometimes you may feel you're alone in your grief, and at least this way you're around others who are experiencing that same type of grief.
Correct.
And you can share experiences and memories with them.
And I want to point out too. I think I forgot something, that the Gold Star members group is not just Central Eastern Washington. There's also family members there from North Idaho, as we had a military member from North Idaho paid ultimate sacrifice not too long ago. So it's not mandatory that these folks come to these meetings, but we're definitely open to receiving them and helping them with any burden that they feel that they have, and help them kind of adjust to life, a new life without their family member there.
Well, I know the Vet Center themselves are fantastic. I was one of their clients down in South Florida. My husband saw a counselor there for many years, and so I am very fond of the Vet Center no matter where they are. One of the things you all have is a mobile unit.
Yes.
Now, what is that? Because I've seen it. What do you have in there? What's in that van?
Well, we have, like I said, there's 300 vet centers throughout the nation. Now, there are only 70 mobile vet centers, or mobile vet centers, or MVCs, throughout the nation. And what these MVCs do is they are an extension of the vet centers, and they go out to rural communities where it's not economically feasible to have a vet center, and we go out there and we provide counseling to, once again, to war veterans and combat theater veterans from all eras.
Okay, and I see on here that you go to Sandpoint with it.
Correct.
You go to Colville, Moses Lake. You've got quite the area that you cover.
Correct.
So if you've got a loved one in these outreach areas that are not close to Spokane, they can still get the services of the Vet Center.
You bet. And even if we don't reach you out there with the mobile vet center, with our counseling and our readjustment counselor, you're not out of luck. There's still opportunities for you to receive help. There are the community-based outreach centers there from the VA that also have mental health staff there, and depending upon the agreements made and what area you live in, we also have fee-based providers that we could send you to for free of charge if we cannot cover that area.
That's really great to know. And also over there at the Vet Center, you have some folks there that can help people with claims.
Yes, we have two great national service officers there. One represents the Veterans of Foreign Wars. The other represents the Military Order of the Purple Heart. That's John Cusser from VFW and Adrian Wall from the Purple Heart organization. And for those who don't know what Connie is talking about as far as claim goes, if you've served any amount of time in the military and you've been injured in the military, you can definitely file for a military service connected claim. whether it's you've hurt your leg, PTSD, you have
Various kinds of cancer, all kinds of things.
Right. If it's something that's documented, or you think that's caused by your service, your time in service, you could definitely file a Veterans Affairs claim, a VA claim for compensation. Now, we do have those two great service officers there, but I will also let you know that they're not the only ones out there. There are service officers all throughout the country. Mostly you can find them through your veterans organizations like VFWs or American Legion. I know that here in Post Falls we have two great service officers here
Scott
as
and
well.
Daryl,
You bet.
absolutely.
And they're all over the place. So
Well, and one of the things about the two gentlemen in the vet center is they're associated with national organizations.
Correct.
So they're not county specific or state specific.
Correct.
So if you wanted to file a claim with them, you did not have to be a resident of the state of Washington.
Correct.
You can be a resident of Maine for all that,
as long as you're a veteran,
Exactly.
yeah, they'll take care of you.
because they are national organizations.
Correct.
So you have all of these options. You have the people that are local, and you also have the people that are national. So, there is no excuse not to file a claim if you've got some sort of medical issue as a result of your military service. I'm telling you right now, and I'm yelling at you, you have no excuse for not filing a claim. And there's also benefits for widows and spouses and children
Correct.
and that sort of thing.
Correct.
So you really do need to check on those things because they're very important.
You're never too old to file a claim.
Absolutely. And even a lot of the World War II veterans that we've got out there, they've got some medical issues that they might think, I'm not going to do that. It's been so long. But it may help you, as you grow older. You may only have Social Security as your income, and a little bit can help.
And if I could add also for filing claims, and I tell everyone this, people think it's a handout. This is not a handout.
Nope.
This is something that you've earned as a veteran for serving your country. Whether it's in peacetime, whether it's overseas, stateside, it doesn't matter. You sign on the dotted line when you join the service that you will give up to include your life for the protection of our American ideals and our country and our way of life. And if you've been injured in your military service, you can file. You have every right to file a claim. This is a benefit and entitlement, not a handout.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the counseling services that you all perform, that's the exact same thing. They're there to help you.
Correct.
I mean, you put in your time in the military, and as a result of that, you have some issues.
Correct.
And the VA is still there for you to help you to get through those issues.
Correct.
We're going to take one last break, but I want to continue on because you've got a bunch of different activities going on here throughout the end of the year, and I want to make sure that people know about them so that if they want to participate or go to something, they know when it is and where it is and what's going on.
Not a problem.
We will be right back.
Thank you. Like I said, this is fun.
Oh, yeah, we're having a good time.
Now you got a natural radio voice there. You sure you didn't DJ in a former life?
No, I started doing this 2009 over at KVNI.
Mm-hmm.
They had me on for like 10 or 15 minutes once a week.
Nice. And your target audience is seniors?
Well, at the time, they were an oldies station.
Uh-huh.
So but then they changed their format and all that changed. And
If I could give you an idea for maybe another one, and I don't know, and since Daryl's close by, a lot of maybe older veterans don't know about it, but aid in attendance.
oh, yeah, we've talked about
Okay,
that.
good,
Oh, yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's a hot topic. That's something that should definitely get out.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about that. lot of controversy going on about that sometimes.
What's the controversy?
Well, that there's some companies that
Or that's
Yeah.
stealing, or
they're
that's
preying on people.
we get that quite a bit, and it's hard to find out who is, who isn't, and
Yeah, Daryl and I are on a crusade. Okay, let's talk about some of the activities
Okay.
that you've got coming up. And is there anything else you want to mention?
No, not really. There's nothing to highlight as of as of yet, nothing I could think of. I think we're covering everything. I mean, if it's on here,
Okay.
I mean, it's covering everything.
Okay, and when we get into the November and that, I'd like to talk about how holidays affect
Right.
veterans, and that might be a time where they really do need to come in and talk
Right.
to you all.
Now, I'm going to let you know this is a quarterly thing,
Okay.
but I am, like I told my boss, is although this is quarterly, I'm going to do a special, like a holiday special, and that's exactly why I'm doing
Yeah.
it, is to target, those who, we all one time or another might get depressed during the holidays, and it's maybe not just the holidays, it's just the weather,
Yeah.
it's the season, and yeah, that's exactly what I'm
Absolutely.
going to do. So
Okay. All right. You ready?
ready.
And we're back. Welcome back to the Senior Moment. Again, this is Connie Clark with Home Helpers, and I have Joe Dumlao with me with the Spokane Vet Center, and we've been talking about the different services that the Vet Center provides, the different support groups, the people that are there to help file claims. I mean, there's a whole array of services. And this quarterly newsletter that Joe has now given me, and I'm going to be using a lot, has all the information on some upcoming events that are going on. Again, today was the stand down here in Coeur d'Alene, but there's going to be one in Libby in October. What is this Coeur d'Alene Tribal Veterans Symposium that's in October?
Well, the Coeur d'Alene tribe asked me not too long ago if we could be part as their resources at their Coeur d'Alene Tribe Veteran Symposium that's held on the 9th to the 11th of next month in October. And basically what they're trying to do is they are seeking resources and help for tribal veterans, war veterans. For those who don't know, it is well documented that as far as minority groups go, that Native Americans have the highest percentage rate of veterans out of any minority groups.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yes, they do. And they have a great sense of nationalism and pride and the warrior spirit. So in times like World War II and other conflicts the U.S. has been in, and quite recently the war on terrorism, Native Americans in groves have joined up to serve their country. And so now we're going out there to help the Coeur d'Alene tribe and reach out to these veterans and help them deal with their issues that they might have coming back from
That's
war.
fantastic, because there are some special issues
Yes.
that they deal with there. And I see there's a free Vietnam Veterans barbecue over at the Vet Center.
You
That
bet.
sounds like fun.
13th of October, come on out to the Spokane Vet Center over there on
In their new location.
13109 East Marabou Parkway in Spokane Valley. And for Vietnam veterans from 12 to 3 o'clock, we're having a free barbecue in your honor, just for Vietnam veterans. So if you're a Vietnam veteran, come on down with your family and we'll feed you.
And there's also a will clinic that's going to be going on over there. You have to be a resident of the state of Washington, but apparently there are some lawyers from Gonzaga University, and I think it's the Young Lawyers Group over there, and they're going to be providing free service so far as getting your wills together.
Now, yes, that is correct. This is the first year that they're doing it, and hopefully this is something that they'll continue on. We've already had inquiries from Western Washington how to get this done, and hopefully this is something that might pick up here in northern Idaho, whether it be in Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, or Sandpoint, and Lewiston. I don't know, but hopefully someone out there is hearing this and might pick this up for Idaho residents. But basically, you're gonna, if you're a Washington resident, you go to www.wavetswillclinic.
So it's WA
.com.
Vets Will Clinic.
Correct. You sign up there, and then on the 13th of October, you're going to come on out to Gonzaga University. You're going to spend about an hour with a lawyer, and they're going to draw up your will. They're going to notarize it. It's going to be legal. And then
And it's a free service.
It's a
You
free
just have to
service.
be a veteran.
You bet.
And I see you've got a free flu shot clinic. Is that what that is?
Correct. We have obviously this is we're coming up on wintertime and the flu season, so different VA hospitals and community-based clinics are offering free flu shot clinics. We have one in LeGrand, Oregon, on the 15th of October. Starts at 8 o'clock. We also have the Yakima flu shot clinic. Starts at 8 o'clock. That's on the 23rd of October. We also have a Lewiston, Idaho flu shot clinic on the 23rd of October, starting at 8 o'clock. And then we're going to finish off the season with Richland flu shot clinic, the 26th of October. Now, these are open to veterans, and at this point, as far as I understand, it's not open to the family members, the spouse or
They
the kids.
just bring their discharge papers?
If they don't have a VA card, yes, they just bring their discharge papers or anything showing that they're a retired veteran or a veteran, and we'll give them a flu shot.
Fantastic. And I see there's a Women Veterans Basic Self-Defense Clinic. That's pretty neat over at the Vet Center.
Yes, the 20th of October, 2 to 4 o'clock. Yours truly is going to be teaching that.
Ooh, okay.
I'm a fourth degree black belt in
Wow.
Okinawa Kempo. I'm a certified self-defense instructor, women's self-defense instructor as well. I've taught my wife for 4 years. She's actually had to use it a few times, so she can attest to what I teach. But I'm basically going to be teaching just basic self-defense. Nothing. I'm not going to make you a kung fu master in 2 hours, but I'm going to teach you basic women's self-defense, and it's free and open to all female veterans on the 20th of October at the Vet Center.
Very nice, very nice. And I see there's a couple of resource fairs. Now, what is a resource fair?
For instance, the one we're having in November, the 1st of November at the Center Place Region Event Center in Spokane Valley from 9 to 4:30. Okay, like I said, on the 1st of November. And with the resource fair, we're going to have a bunch of different organizations there to help veterans out, whether it's job resources, community resources, mental health resource they're available. You could get signed up at the VA there. You could
That's real important, because there's a lot of veterans out there who don't think they're eligible for VA health care.
Correct.
And they don't want to go all the way over to the Spokane VA hospital to do that.
Correct.
So at these different outreach things that you have going on, you have a representative there, they can sign up and they don't have to go to the hospital?
We'll sign you up right there.
Perfect. No excuse.
None
I'm going to yell at you
whatsoever.
again. No excuse. If you're a veteran, get over there and get signed up. Because there's a lot of benefits, like, for example, the burial benefit. You cannot get that benefit unless you're in the VA system.
Correct.
Because my dad ran into that. He was not in the VA system, and when he passed away, he wasn't able to access those benefits because he'd never gotten into the system after he got out of the military.
And to touch on that, you don't have to wait until the veteran dies. You could sign up through the VA cemetery benefits side. Pre-sign up for a plot and your headstone if you feel like that's what you need to do.
That's
you don't
fantastic.
have to wait till the event happens.
Right. And one of the things I saw on here, and we talked about it in the break, it's real important. You have something coming up in November, and it's called The Holidays, How Much is Enough Workshop. This workshop will help parents navigate the stresses of the holiday season. The holiday season for veterans, I know for a fact from personal experience, is a very stressful time. They think about when they were in the military and it was Christmas, or when they were overseas and it was Thanksgiving. Or they look at the gifts that their children are receiving at Christmas and think about the children that they saw when they were overseas that didn't have anything. And so there's a lot of emotions that go on in our veterans during that holiday season, starting in November through New Year's. It's tough for us non-veterans, as it gets dark early and it's all gray and all the rush. But for a veteran, it's really extra tough. And you all are doing some things to help folks get through that.
Yes, and we are, and you hit it exactly, the nail exactly on the head, why we're doing this, because it is a tough season to be around for various reasons, and whatever your reason is, we're here to help. We are throwing this 2-day seminar is going to be held on the 1st and the 9th of November from 6 to 8:30 p.m. And we're going to have things to like how to help your kids understand the value of money and what it means to during Christmas, how to help cope with your wife during Christmas time, how to cope with your husband during Christmas time, or just how to deal with the commercialism of the holidays, so on and so forth. I mean, we're going to cover everything underneath the sun in this workshop. It just to kind of get you unwound and prepared for the holidays. And we're not going to make it better, or we're not going to give you the magic pill to make it all go away, but we're going to give you some things to help you cope with the stressors that goes on with the holiday season.
Because I guarantee you, even your World War II veterans, when the holidays come up, they have thought about where they were Christmas Day, or where they were New Year's or Thanksgiving Day when they weren't home. And those memories come back. And like I said, even your World War II and your Korean veterans, that's been a very, very long time ago, those thoughts still come back.
You bet.
And they may not say something to you, and all of a sudden they're acting different, and you don't understand where that change came from. You all can help them to get through that.
Correct.
And so you need to understand that resource is there to maybe start coming and talking to someone before all of those events happen, so that when they do happen, that the veteran understands what's going on, but most importantly, that their family understand
Correct.
what's going on, because those are not easy memories.
No, they're not.
And you all are there to help. Now, how many counselors are at the Spokane Vet Center?
We have a total of 7 mental health counselors at the Spokane Vet Center. And we have 2 readjustment counselors there as well, to include myself, in a total of 11 staff members there. We're one of the largest vet centers in the area, and that's based upon the numbers that we have here. And our counselors are great.
I know they are. You guys are fantastic.
Out of the 7 counselors, 6 of them are veterans themselves, and the one non-veteran, she's close enough. She has 2 boys that are serving or have served, one that is still serving, and one of her sons have done several tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. So she understands what
it's
going
like.
on. You bet.
And that's one of the good things about the vet center and the counselors that are there, is that all of them understand what it's like to be a veteran. And a lot of veterans don't want to go talk to someone because the person they're talking to has never been there. So they don't understand the feelings that they're feeling. And every single one of you over there has been there and has felt those feelings.
Correct.
And so that is a big positive for talking to someone over there versus a civilian.
And what I'd like to put in, add on to that, is we speak your lingo. We speak a veteran's lingo. And it doesn't matter what service you're from, what time era you served, we speak the same lingo. You don't have to explain to a civilian, what a chow hall is, or other acronyms that are common to the service members and their spouses. Because spouses learn these acronyms and lingo as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that already, the fact that you have another veteran helping another veteran, there's already an established rapport there.
And if the veteran is going to be filing claims, they can utilize your information for those claims. Is that not correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
That's
so
correct.
If you're going to be filing some sort of disability claim, a service-connected claim or something, you don't need other counselors. You can talk to your vet center counselors, and they can help you through that
correct.
process. Now, if someone wants to access your service, how would they get in contact with you all? Your website, your phone numbers, that sort of thing.
Well, once again, we are at the Spokane Valley. We're at 13109 East Marabou Parkway in the Spokane Valley, Marabou Point Park. Our phone number is area code 509-444-8387. Our hours of operation is Monday through Friday. We're open at 8 o'clock, a.m. and we close at 4:30 p.m. We do occasionally have appointments on Saturday, but that's by special appointment only. After you get seen initially and something comes up or your schedule just can't permit it, then we can make accommodations to get you seen on Saturday. You could also reach us at www.vetcenter.va.gov. Okay, and just kind of generalized information about the vet center. And then also don't forget that we also have the mobile vet center that visits points in Idaho, Sandpoint, North Idaho College, and then we have also fee-based providers that if you need help and you can't get to the vet center, it's something to look forward to.
And I've seen the vet center, the mobile unit, in different places around town and stuff. So if you happen to see it, stop by and talk to the folks there. Because you're there out in the public. That's why you're sitting there, so that people will come and talk to you and find out about your services. Is there anything else you want to tell us about the vet center? Because I have this special place in my heart for the vet center. So I could sit like you and talk and tell people you need to go talk to them. But
well, what I'd like to say about the vet center is that the reason why that we exist and the reason why a lot of people choose us is that we are community based and that we are a smaller organization. So the setting that we have there at the vet center is very relaxed. It's very home feeling, if you will. Maybe not a big hospital or a big crowded
clinical place,
right?
Yeah.
Not very sterile. Very sterile. Hospitals are very sterile. We're very homey. We're very down to earth. A lot of veterans like to come out there just to hang out, and we try to make the vet center as comfortable as possible. For those who might be suffering from PTSD or other mental illnesses like that, or maybe military sexual trauma, one of the great things I like to point out to veterans is that we have a quiet room in there while you wait for your appointment if you happen to get there early. If you don't want to sit around the general public and your other fellow veterans, we have a room specially dedicated.
So people in and out can't see that you're sitting there waiting to go see someone.
Right. And
that's a good point.
Yeah, you don't have to have your back to the door. You don't have to be around other people. You can sit there quietly and wait for your appointment.
And I think it's fantastic. And the phone number is 444-VETS. Correct?
4 vets.
4 vets.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
I remember that. 444-VETS or 444-8388. You also have the website, vetcenter.va.gov. There's a crisis line. I see veteranscrisisline.net where you can go on and chat. There's all kinds of things available out there. So if you're dealing with an issue or your loved one's dealing with an issue, especially as we get into the holidays, know that there are people out there that can help them, and they're not going to judge them. They're going to understand what they're going through. And so it's real important. And it doesn't have to be just our recent veterans. I mean, there's a lot of World War II veterans in the area that have issues they've never talked about.
Correct.
And when they do come back in their mind, especially as they get older and start thinking back of their life, they need to have someone they can talk to about this that's not going to judge them and that's going to understand.
Personally, and no disrespect to any other war veterans out there, but I love talking to the World War II and Korean veterans because they are living history.
Absolutely.
My grandfathers were World War II combat veterans. My father is Vietnam and Persian Gulf veteran, combat veteran. My brother and I are both combat Iraqi veterans. So I understand the history of serving, and I love veterans. I mean, I have a passion for this job. I love this job, and I love to hear everyone's story because once those veterans have passed, those stories are gone.
The history's
forever.
gone.
You bet.
Yeah, I realized that when my father passed away. I never asked him about any of that, and I'm very sad that I didn't.
So and there are some folks who might never ever tell their story, but if telling their story will help them heal, help them get better, and they want to do it confidentially, that's what the Vet Center is for.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Joe, for coming in and talking to me this afternoon. I know it's been a busy day,
Yes.
but I really do appreciate it.
Connie, thank you very much for having me. It is my pleasure. I hope you invite me out again.
Oh, absolutely. I will be. I will be. Thank you.
Thank you.
And this has been the Senior Moment, and you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Good day.